Hello everyone, it's Megray. I don't know about the rest of you, but for me anyway, I absolutely love fantasy and fairy tales. Which is why I decided to build this build of Rapunzel's Tower. Not only do I really like the story of Rapunzel, but I also just wanted to expand upon my current building skills and try something different. I wanted this build to be as large as I could possibly make it because I enjoy building larger, it's just something I like to do. And because of its size, that only really allows me to do the interior of it, so that is what I focused on for this whole build. I've been trying to learn some new commands lately. I'm always trying to expand on what I know, and I've been experimenting with noise patterns. I was able to create this really beautiful floor just by using different noise patterns. And I think it turned out pretty good considering it was just a few commands. Aside from that, I just started to fill the room with whatever furniture that popped into my head, whatever you'd think that you'd need to survive in a tower all alone. So I added a bed, a desk, and various other types of furniture. To make it look less like Minecraft and less grid-like, I made sure to angle as much of the furniture as possible. For some pieces, I wanted them to have as much depth and detail as possible, also to add to the realism and just give more interest to this build. The fireplace was probably one of the trickiest things that I added to this room, so I started with a basic shape, and then to get some details in the rocks and stonework, I painted over it with the shapes that I wanted for each stone with a different block, then just replaced around them using a mask, and it automatically created a popped out shape on all those areas. It's a really simple technique I use almost constantly. I usually use it for clothing or anything that really just needs one extra layer of depth to it. By the way, if you don't know how to use masks like this, I do have a basic tutorial for how to do so. So if that's something you want to look into more, then I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check it out. For the carpet in the center of the room, to make it look the most realistic, I changed the edges up so they weren't so straight, and using the loft tool added in some wrinkles. Once I added the pattern to it, it really did help create the illusion that it was real. My main goal was just to fill this place up as much as possible to actually make it look, I guess, lived in. All the large pieces of furniture were pretty basic and just required a lot of copying and flipping and pasting. But once I got those out of the way, then I could start adding in all the fun details. It was actually really fun to think through, what would Rapunzel need to survive? Obviously, she's gonna have to eat something, so I added in a basket of apples and other different foods, various utensils that she'll need to eat. And using that same thought process, I just went around the room and just tried to think of anything I could add to this to make it a little more believable. Also, thanks to anyone who did give me input on what we could add to this room. It was really helpful and it was really enjoyable to add all of those suggestions. To finish off the build, I needed to build Rapunzel herself, and I thought the most appropriate place for her to be would be to sit by the window and gaze longingly outside. Similar to what I did on the bricks for the fireplace, I painted her clothes on her and then replaced around them to add some depth. This is also a technique, like I said, that I use for all of the clothing I do on my organics. And from there, all you have to do is paint it. And last but not least, we can't forget Rapunzel's long flowing hair everywhere in the room. More than anything, I just wanted this build to tell a story, and I think it does accomplish that. And it was really fun to build. It was a great experiment. It was a little bit tedious, but I think the outcome was worth it. Thank you for watching, and before I go, enjoy this render I made of the build so we could get a better look at it and really see it brought to life.